ball swinging in, and it's a fair ball, and Wayzata wins it. Tampa Park back to state for the third straight year.
Hi, and welcome to Sports Jam on CCX. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. This week on the show, highlights from the start of section play in girls hockey. Plus, we'll look ahead to this week's state Nordic ski meet with members of the Wayzata Trojans.
And in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we'll talk with the Maple Grove wrestling team as they get set for section competition after a strong regular season.
And let's start with alpine skiing. Spots in the state meet were on the line for local skiers. Pretty much all of the teams in our area compete in the same section. Afton Alps, the site for the Section 5 meet once again. Starting with the boys and Sam Scheidman of Breck. He has the second fastest combined time of the day with a two-run total of 1:68 to advance to the state meet. Maple Grove junior Blake Quall of Northwest Alpine is headed back to state. Quall is 10th overall to punch his ticket to Giants Ridge. Nathan Zemer of Wayzata advances with a two-run time of 1:04.59. His teammate Zach Thompson is also state-bound. Breck's Andrew Scheidman also qualifies for state by placing 6th. His Mustangs are 4th in the team competition. The top two teams advance. Now to the girls and Deirdre O'Neill of Breck. She has the best time of anyone not on a team qualifier and the third best time overall at 1:06.04. Sarah Hoffman of Hopkins is headed to state 2. She's 5th overall with a time of 1:06.98. Marta Pendergast of Wayzata skis her way to Giants Ridge by placing 4th overall at 1:06.35 for her two runs. Her teammate Leanne Cui also makes the cut, placing 20th. And here's what one local qualifier had to say about his races.
I've had a pretty good first run. It put me in about 8th place overall. And my second run, I slowed down a little bit. A couple kids overtook me, but I think I still finished in the top 10 overall.
The team scores starting with the girls. Champion Minnetonka and runner-up Orono advanced to state. Wayzata is the top team from our area, placing 5th. Breck is 7th, Benilde 9th, Northwest Alpine 10th, Hopkins 12th, and Armstrong 14th. The same two schools advance on the boys' side with Minnetonka 1st and Orono 2nd. Breck is 4th, Hopkins 5th, Wayzata 8th, Benilde 9th, Northwest 11th, and Armstrong 13th. The state meet is Wednesday in Biwabik.
Now to girls hockey, where section champions will be crowned by the end of the week. Section 6AA is always tough, and Blake's move into the section this season makes it even better. Wayzata came into the playoffs hoping to make a run. The third-seeded Trojans meeting 6th-seeded Benilde St. Margaret's in the quarterfinals. Highlights from this one: the Trojans strike first, strong rush up the wing. Sophie Urban beats the goalie on the short side. It's 1-0 Wayzata just over 6 minutes into the game. But the Red Knights tied up. Maya Jones' shot tipped in by Sally Callinger. It's her third goal of the season, but it's a big one. It's 1-1 after a period. Benilde goes up 2-1 before the Trojans tie it in the second. Addie Hackley shoots from the slot and scores. Sophomore defenseman makes it a 2-2 game. The Trojans later get a 2-0 breakaway while shorthanded, and Gretchen Branton skates in and scores. It's her team-high 18th goal of the season. That one stands up as the game winner. Wayzata advances with a 3-2 win. Also in Section 6AA, 5th seed Hopkins Park took on number 4 seed Creighton-Durham Hall. An early Creighton turnover proves costly. Mary Gleason there for the Royals. She scores to give Hopkins Park a 1-0 lead. Later in the first, check out the end-to-end rush here by Hopkins senior and UMD signee Kylie Hanley. Great backhander in for a goal. Hopkins Park has a 2-0 lead after one. Late second period, the Raiders get one back. Cece Ziegler shoots and scores from the slot. It's a 2-1 game. That's the score going into the third period. In the third, a great pass from Michaela Lenz to the opposite circle to Emily King. She fires and scores. Creighton ties the game up at 2. And King isn't finished. She takes another pass from behind the net and scores here. And this one is the game winner for the Raiders. Creighton-Durham Hall eliminates Hopkins Park 3-2. Here's a look at the Wednesday semifinals at Parade Ice Garden. It's the top 4 seeds who advance. In the early game, Creighton takes on top-seeded Edina at 5:30, followed at about 7:30 by Wayzata against Blake. The winners meet for the 6AA title Friday night at 7:30.
Maple Grove has played in the past 2 section finals in Section 5 AA. The Crimson had a superb second half of the season and came in as the 2nd seed for this year's tournament. The Crimson meeting Spring Lake Park in the quarterfinals. Late first period, Emily Herdeen shoots. Michaela Macklett pops in the rebound for a 1-0 Crimson lead. Second period, and Maple Grove's Emily Elias shoots. Chloe Corbin crashes the net and scores another rebound goal, and it's 2-0 Maple Grove. Later in the second, Julia Pius' shot is redirected in by Herdeen for a 4-0 lead. Maple Grove wins 4-0. They remain unbeaten since December 12th. They'll play Blaine in the semifinals. Rogers defeated Champlain Park Coon Rapids, so it's the Royals meeting Centennial in Tuesday's first 5AA semifinal. Maple Grove then plays Blaine at 7:30 with the winners facing off Friday night for the section title.
And there should be some interesting semifinals of both sections 5 and 6, Jay.
Yeah, definitely good teams left in both of them. Wayzata looking to upset Blake after they tied them. Maple Grove looking pretty tough to beat, and of course Brack is still alive in Class A. Stay with us. Straight ahead, highlights from a big wrestling match, plus section Nordic skiing.
Welcome back to Sports Jam.
And time to talk wrestling. Rivals Osseo and Maple Grove met to end the regular season. Maple Grove starts fast in this one. Dylan Schultz has John Lundstrom in trouble in the 113-pound match. Schultz gets the pin as the Crimson win the first 3 matches of the night. Rufus Somerville gets Osseo on the board in the 126-pound match. He gets the takedown here against David Grant on the way to a major decision. But it's mostly Maple Grove. Gavin Peterson has the cradle locked on, and he pins Wyatt Doubler in the 138-pound match to make it 25-4 Crimson. Trailing early in the third period at 1:45, A.J. Aitken turns the tables and gets the takedown and eventual pin against Adolphus Somerville of Osseo. And maybe the best match of the night is a top 10 matchup at 182 after trailing. Evan Hall of Maple Grove gets the escape, takedown, and near fall on the way to a 7-3 win over Taylor Meisner. Maple Grove wins its first ever conference title, taking the NWSC West with a 51-14 win. We'll hear from the Crimson later in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Now to Nordic skiing, where the state meet is this coming Thursday at Giants Ridge in Biwabik. Last week, skiers were vying for those state meet spots. The top 2 teams and 6 individuals outside those teams qualify for state. Section 5AA, Gabby Bolster is the top finishing local girl. She comes in 4th place in a combined 2 race time of 38 minutes, 42.3 seconds. Elizabeth Matson of Park Center is 2 spots back, finishing in 6th place. In 8th place overall, wearing bib 108 on the right, it's Champlain Park Sydney Crandall. Those are the 3 local girls state qualifiers. No teams from the area advance. To the boys finish in Maple Grove, C.J. Young in bib 103. He makes state with his 4th place finish in a time of 31 minutes, 23.7 seconds. Champlain Park's Matt Ullman in bib 107 on the right is his state qualifier, along with teammate Mark Scheller. Max Kibbe of Maple Grove in bib 213 is a first-time state qualifier as well. Here's what 2 of the local skiers had to say after their races.
It's pretty exciting. That was my main goal going into this season, because I'd gone to the state relays the past 2 years, so I've always wanted to actually compete in the state meet.
It means a lot to me because I've been working on getting to state for the past few years, and for the past few years we win as a team, so I really wanted to make it this year, and it's been a goal for me all season, so really glad I actually got to do that.
Some of the state's best Nordic teams are from Section 6, including Armstrong, Hopkins, and Wayzata from our area. The Armstrong girls waxing up their skis for the second race of the day, the classic style pursuit. Wayzata's Mara McCollor starts and finishes first. The junior comes in with a combined 2 race time of 25 minutes, 58.8 seconds, winning by well over a minute. Wayzata's team finishes second. Lucy Anderson of Armstrong is second, as both the Falcons and Trojans teams qualify for state. Charlie Brown of Benilde St. Margaret's on the left in bib 3 finishes 4th, just behind Wayzata's Lauren McCollor. Leah Rudd of Armstrong wearing bib 5 finishes 5th. And then a few spots later, it's Kaylin Jackson of Hopkins on the left, just edging out Carolyn House of Wayzata for 8th place. The top 12 finishers are all from the area and all make state. Now to the boys, where the top 3 pursuit race finishers are from Wayzata, including James Schneider here in bib 3. He's 3rd behind teammates Anders Sonnesyn and Luc Golin. Keelan Gorman of Benilde in bib 5 places 5th. Logan Hoffman of Hopkins is 1 place back in 6th with a time of 24:48.7. Thomas Golin of Wayzata comes in 9th, right ahead of Armstrong, Sam Himes, and Trig Lisney. Like in the girls' race, both Wayzata and Armstrong's teams advance. And here's what 2 state qualifiers had to say.
I think today the course was pretty fast. The tracks were kind of icy, so it made it speedy on the downhills. So it was a good race.
I knew our team had a pretty good chance going into it, but we did really well today. We had a nice pack up front, so we worked together.
And we'll hear from the Wayzata Nordic team coming up later in the show.
In girls basketball, Park Center was aiming for a second win this season over district rival Maple Grove in a key game of the West Division standings in the Northwest Suburban. It's on the Pirates' home court. Summer Blakemore with a three-pointer for Park Center in the early going, getting PC out to a lead. Katrina Tice will drive for the Crimson to get the basket and foul. She scores 19 points to lead the Crimson. PC freshman Adalia McKenzie with a nice putback. She scores 13 in the first half, 19 points in the game. Blakemore hits again from long range. He gets 4 3-pointers in the first half. Pirates lead 40-25 at the break. Blakemore with a steal and breakaway hoop early in the second half. And the Pirates are in control. But the Crimson chips away. Jordan Lamker knocks down the three-pointer to make it 53-45. Autumn Malinar finds Tyson the inbounds with a hoop and foul. Free throw cuts the Park Center lead to 3. Maple Grove gets no closer and Park Center wins 65-61. They have the lead now in the NWSC West. Now to boys basketball, where the 2 teams from our area that compete in the IMAC conference had the first of 2 meetings this season. Breck visiting Providence Academy. Breck controlling action early. Eric McDavid drives to the basket and scores, putting the Mustangs ahead 12-4. Nice work by Breck, rotating the ball to the corner, and an open look for Jefferson Slocum. He scores. It's 24-10 Mustangs. Breck in transition, and David Roddy finds Joey Ganley for a 3 from the corner. Ganley, one of 4 Mustangs to finish in double figures for scoring. The Lions show resiliency. Aaron Davis passes to Dylan Servais for the layup. He scores 16 points in the game. And right before halftime, it's Logan Blomberg hitting the baseline jumper to beat the buzzer. Providence is within 4 at halftime, 37-33. Second half, Breck continues to hit from the outside. Ganley, another 3. Mustangs are up by 9. Roddy leads the Mustangs in scoring this season and in this game. He strips the ball and takes it coast to coast for the layup plus a foul. Roddy scores 21 points. Breck goes on to beat Providence Academy 72-52. And Jay, gymnastics section meets are this week, including the big 5AA meet Thursday night at Irondale. A lot of local teams, some very good teams in that meet.
Yeah, it should be a great battle. Champlin Park, Maple Grove, and maybe in Wayzata battling for that top spot as a team. Stay with us. Next in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we profile a Maple Grove wrestling team that's one of the best the school has had. It's tournament time for local wrestlers. As you saw earlier in the show, Maple Grove beat rival Osseo in the last match of the regular season for both teams. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we take a look at a Crimson team that's had a lot of good moments on the mat this winter. With the regular season in the books, it's been a pretty special year for the Maple Grove wrestling team. They closed with a win over arch rival Osseo in the season finale. It's one of the best teams in program history.
Yeah, we've been having a really good dual team record, and everybody's individual records are doing way better. So yeah, I've been very surprised.
The 4 years I've been here, I can definitely tell our guys, like I said, are in here every day. They're working, they're lifting after school. Definitely one of the hardest working teams we got. And that reflects on the mat as well, so I agree with you there.
You know, we've got a good guy at every weight class, we feel like, just confident in everybody who steps on the mat. And, you know, the guys are working hard, and there's a lot of talent in there, so that's a good combination.
Wrestling is struggling at a lot of schools in the area, with teams finding it difficult to fill a lineup and keep kids out. It's a grueling sport that's staying relevant at Maple Grove.
We got a really good coaching staff. They believe in us, they push us, and just the overall mentality in here. Everyone wants to win, we want to be successful, and that just drives us.
We actually don't have great numbers this year, but the guys that we do have, to their credit, been hardworking and have really improved throughout the course of the year. And so it's really not about how many kids you have in the room. It's about how many kids who have desire and determination and commitment you have in the room. And we have a lot of kids that fit in those categories.
Maple Grove has some elite talent for sure. 106-pounder Joey Thompson is ranked #1 in the state after placing 5th at state last season. Gavin Peterson at 138, Evan Hull at 182, and Adam Skogman at 220 are also in the top 10 in their weight classes. And Dakota Aiken and Isaac Bamer are returning state entrants. But it's the improvement of other guys that has made this a stronger overall team.
I think it's been pretty cool. I mean, I've been seeing kids get a lot better. Like Dylan, wrestling with him, he's been getting better. Wrestling with me, he's been pushing me. He's a great practice partner.
I see a lot of guys that come in at the start of the year and they don't look good at all, you know, and then as the year goes on, it's like they're able to hold their own against guys that are good. So it's cool to see them progress throughout the year like that.
Maple Grove sent 6 wrestlers to the state tournament last season. They should have a chance to match that this time around.
We expect more this year. Obviously, I think we got 5 guys coming back that went last year. And a lot of the guys are working hard this year. We expect more than 6 this year to go.
Maple Grove has been to the state tournament as a team twice, in 2010 and 2014. The difference now, section reshuffling means longtime power St. Michael Albertville is standing in their way.
Obviously, St. Michael's got one of the elite programs in the state, and so we talk about them a little bit, but it's not something we shy away from. We're excited about the competition, I guess.
Yeah, I think we have a great shot of beating S team this year. That's why we're all hyped up. We're all working hard in practice because we think we got a shot.
Yeah, I'd say we're underdogs, but I'm not scared of them. We can give them a run. I mean, anything's possible, you know.
We got a lot of respect for them, and they got respect for us. Definitely be respect walking out on the mat against your opponent, but ultimately both teams are going to compete. And the final score after the end of the day is what it's going to be, and the best team is going to go to state. I feel like it's us.
The Section 5 3A team tournament is Saturday at St. Michael Albertville, with individual sections the following weekend at Mound Westonka. John looks ahead to the State Nordic ski meet with the Wayzata Trojans when Sports Jam continues.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. Earlier in the program, we showed you highlights from the Section Nordic ski meets. Wayzata, one of the teams that will be represented up at Pewabic on Thursday, and they join us now on the show. We'll start with 2 of their boys. Luc Golin, the state qualifier, and you've been through this before. What's it like to qualify again now in your senior year?
Yeah, it feels great. The team's been skiing well the past couple of weeks. We've all been training a lot this winter and throughout all the off season, so it's great to get some success out of it. So yeah, we're all looking forward to state, I think.
When you get to these late season practices and you only have a couple days to prepare now for state, what do you work on specifically in your workouts?
Just like fine-tuning things, like getting used to the speed and the like level of the like heart rate level, and just being used to what it feels like to racing, but also not going too hard to tire yourself out. So
your team is one of the favorites this week. Do you like that you're a team that a lot of people think could win it all on Thursday?
Yeah, kind of, but being favorites also puts a target on your back. We still need to be focused to deliver on what we've set a goal to do.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Anders Sonnesyn, honors you have been to state many times. What are your expectations for this week?
For the next week, I'm really, like Luke said, just fine-tuning things and hoping that the state meet I can just, treat it like any other race and do the best that I can.
These conference and section meets that you've had at Worth, how much have they prepared you for this week, do you believe?
They've prepared us really well, especially because the 5K individual start and pursuit on the same day, that's something that we don't usually do that often, and so the last 2 races, they've really helped us get used to it and know what it's going to feel like in that second race.
You've skied up at Pewabic many, many times. What do you like about it, and what are the biggest challenges about that course that you need to overcome to ski well there?
It's definitely a very challenging course. The first skate race course
is a lot of rolling hills, and then of course the classic race is just a real grind. It's about 3K uphill, and then the rest is downhill. So
good luck this week.
Thank you.
And two sisters and teammates join us now, Lauren McCollor and Mara McCollor. And Lauren, going back to state for you, what does that mean for you and the rest of your team?
Well, we qualified for as a team when I was in 7th grade, and it was really fun, and it was a fun experience, and I can't wait to have that again. It wasn't quite as fun last year as being an individual, but like we have it this year again, so it's going to be nice.
Your practice today is out here at French Park in Plymouth. I know the state course is hilly, and this one has some hills. Does that help you prepare and get you a little more ready for what you're going to face in Bowavic?
Yeah, it's definitely a very hilly course and tough course, so training on hills and getting used to them, your legs feel more used to it when you're up there and skiing hard.
Lauren, good luck this week.
Thank you.
Mara McCollor is one of the state's top skiers, and forecast is for a cold day. Is that tough to ski in? I know you don't like warm conditions either, but what's ideal, and what's the toughest thing when it gets to be really cold?
I don't mind the cold that much. I really enjoy when it's nice conditions like it's going to be. It's a lot easier to wax, especially for classic, which is nice because it's a lot of uphills on that course. So having good kick is really nice.
How much is a state championship individually a goal for you this week?
It's for sure a big goal of mine. All the other girls that are up there are going to race awesome. It's super exciting to watch all them race and race with them at J&Q's and other races as well. But I think it'd be really fun to win a state championship.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Wayzata girls and boys, along with Armstrong boys and girls, several individuals out of Section 5, all part of the state meet coming up this Thursday in Bowavic. We'll take a break and wrap up the show. First, here's a look at our plays of the week.
Looking for local? Even more local? CCX Media gives you the option to connect with your community on multiple levels. CCX Sports brings you ultimate coverage in local prep sports with full game coverage of over 120 high school games a year with highlights and features on our daily newscast. Then, our weekly Sports Jam show gives you a close-up look at local athletes, highlights of local games, and in-depth interviews. Our content can be watched at home or on the go. Visit ccxmedia.org.
Our game of the week is a rematch of last season's Section 6 4A final in boys basketball as Hopkins visits Wayzata. The game is Friday night at 7 o'clock. Watch it live on CCX channels 799 and 12 and online at ccxmedia.org or catch the replays Saturday at 7 p.m. or Sunday at 1 p.m. That will do it for this week's Sports Jam. Thanks for watching.
We'll be with you starting Tuesday next week after the President's Day holiday. See you then.